Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because you become what you believe.
Dig deep down and ask yourselves, who do you want to be?
Create the highest.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Majitana Mwana, welcome to it. It's In the Game with Mpixo P, the greatest on Free State Online Network. And listen, finally we saw the end of the Euros this past Sunday, with the Spain being champions after defeating England by 2-1. It never ever came home. There's still a long way to go for England. Or was it Harry Kane? Was he the bad luck, as they say? I don't know, because he went to the Bundesliga and the other team didn't win nothing. But we'll see about that. But most importantly, here in Bloemfontein this coming weekend on Saturday, we're going to see the Springboks take on Portugal at 5 o'clock. And I hope that you've got your ticket. You're going to be out there supporting the boys this coming weekend. And also, if you're a Sundowns fan, Masanda Wana, Kabuyelo, they are coming to Bloemfontein this coming Saturday. So I hope you're excited with that as well. But more importantly, be excited about the interview that I'm about to have, because I'm talking to one of the best goalkeeper coaches in the Free State. Listen, I'm not buying no face. He's one of the best in the Free State. Moneeb Nkopane is in the house. Moneeb, welcome to In the Game, Khotman. Thank you so much for accepting the request, the invitation when I called and said, my brother, can we please have this chat? It has been long coming for me.
Yeah, thank you for having me, my brother. And I just want to say hello to the viewers and everyone who's in studio. Thank you for having me.
Listen, let me just pick your brain just before we get into the conversation. They say Harry Kane is like bad luck for teams, you know, because England didn't win in the final. He's been into so many finals, you know, and they never won at Tottenham, and he went to the Bundesliga and the other team didn't win in the Bundesliga. Do you believe in this thing of players being bad luck for teams?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, we call it a curse, you know, because we moved from Tottenham to Bayern, and Bayern didn't win anything last season. So even England is not doing well internationally, it's not scoring. So I think it might have been a case for England national team.
But I can
he's a
tell you
good player.
They'll never drop him, never for nothing. But let's talk about, you know, Moneeb Nkopane. Like for someone that doesn't know you, particularly the people that know your work, but they don't know where your career started. Just to give them a bit of background, you know, somebody sees you now as the UFS, you know, goalkeeper coach. Some others, they know you as the CUT goalkeeper coach. Others, they've seen you work with Mangaung United and many other teams that you've worked with. You know, the list is endless, you know. For you, where did it all start?
I think it all started at CUT, to be honest with you. I was a player at CUT before I was playing for Bloemfontein Tigers, before even Roses United. Then I was spotted by Coach Tebu to come to CUT from Tigers to come and play for CUT. Then I remember at that time it was at the peak of my career, willing to let go. And it was not an easy decision to let go playing and to be a coach when I'm at a young age. Then the thing that forced me to be a coach, it was because of I was forced by the head injury that I had, 2 concussions in 2 weeks. So
2 concussions in 2 weeks?
Yes, space of 2 weeks, because of I got it on Tuesday. Then we were playing a derby, going for a weekend. Then I got a concussion on Tuesday. Then Friday, I was feeling like now I want to play, you know. When it comes to the game situation, then they called my head the honey. I don't know why they called me that, because of someone kicked me again on the head. Then I was back in the medical clinic again. They were like, you again, we told you that we were supposed to take 3 weeks for you to heal, but here you are here again. Then it was complicated situation for me for that, but it was because I took it lightly, but it was a very, very serious injury because I had internal bleeding. I don't remember, I still have the scars here on my head, exactly. Then I had to decide whether I'm still playing or I'm still continuing being maybe a coach or what, because of at that point I was willing like to leave football for good. Yeah, it was not an easy decision to make.
But how's that transition, from moving from being a player to going and becoming, a coach? How's that transition, because I believe some of the players that you end up coaching are players that you played with, and there's like friendship type thing, and now you have to be serious and tell them, this is what you do, how's that transition for you?
To be honest with you, the transition was not easy at all because of here you are, you've been a player this season, next season you are a coach. Then you have to adjust from being a player to be a coach. First foremost, I think that you don't have to force their respect towards the players. You just have to do your job so that they can respect you through your job. So it was not easy in terms of like doing research, being a new coach in the environment, dealing with all these coaches that they don't understand the modern football. So it was quite challenging that you find a coach who doesn't understand what is the aim of having a goalkeeper coach in the team, understand? So it was quite difficult that all the coaches, they couldn't keep up with the pace of goalkeeper coaches or having the goalkeeper coaches in the team. So I was always fighting with the head coaches most of the time. You need to prioritize goalkeepers. Even the formations, I was always prioritizing them. So I think it was not an easy side to take, to be honest with you.
So, but now you start being a goalkeeper coach. What was the hardest thing about it, in the early stages?
I think getting to know a person personally as a player. Remember, as a coach, you don't just coach a player for the sake of coaching a player. You need to know where does this player come from, where does this player do on his spare time and everything. So I think you need to be a father figure towards a player than being like to know a player. So you need to know the inside of the player. Like when you coach, you don't just coach a goalkeeper for the sake of here is Mpixo, I'm coaching him, like I'm watching YouTube and all that stuff. You don't do that. You coach a player because of their ability. The way Tumelo Nkune has been trained is not been trained. I can't train my goalkeepers the way Tumelo has been trained because we have the different personalities, we have different attributes, agilities and all the stuff. So you need to know the roots of the footwork of the goalkeeper and the handling, the eye coordinations, those kind of things. You coach them the way they are, their strong points are there. So the mostly the mistake that goalkeepers coaches they do is that they want to watch YouTube and follow the YouTube and coach the goalkeepers with YouTube, but they don't understand the dynamics of goalkeeping. So if you can understand the principles and the dynamics of goalkeeping, then you can make a good goalkeepers of that.
Listen, if you understand the dynamics, you can make a good goalkeeper. Don't watch YouTube too much. You aspiring goalkeeper coaches. Listen, we are going into a break. When we come back from the break, we are definitely chatting more. Do you need a license to be a goalkeeper coach? That's one important question that I need to throw out there, because definitely it should be if it's part of modern football, or do I just get a general, coaching license? I can be a goalkeeper coach myself because I've got a D license. You'll never know. Let's go into a break. When we come back, we're having that chat. Ayoba.
You become what you believe.
Deep down, ask yourselves, who do you want to be?
Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to In the Game with Mpixo, the greatest on Free State Online Network. And in the house, we still have Moneeb Nkopane, who is a goalkeeper coach at the University of the Free State, but formerly with CUT. Moneeb, just before I get into where you are, where you come from type of thing in terms of your career, let's touch on the issue of licensing. For a goalkeeper coach, do you need a coaching license? Is there a specific one for goalkeeper coaches, or you just have to have a general coaching license?
We're having a discussion about this at a course. I just attended a C license course. Then we're discussing in terms of why goalkeeper coaches are not the most highest paid people in the in football fraternity. And they were like, no, you guys are just only diving and all this stuff. KFF has like sent a very, very, very sensitive letter to SAFA that, you know what, as a coaches and as a goalkeeper coach, they need to be licensed with them, KF. Then you have to have a license to be a goalkeeper coach, and you need to know the player, you need to know the safeguarding, and also this other one that we're doing, it was new in me, the anti-doping and all the certificates as well. So you need to have those certificates in order for you to be a coach. You need to do D lessons, C lessons. So when you're at C lessons, then you can specialize. That's where now I can specialize from level 1 to level 2 and level 3. So, but now I still want to go for B lessons before I go for my specialization.
Look, now you are with the University of the Free State as a goalkeeper coach, right? You said you worked with CUT before, but I know you worked with CUT for a very long time, for a very long time, from Varsity Cup to ABC Motsepe League. You now moving from a team that you've been with for so long as a coach, how does that feel?
I've been with CUT for almost 13 years. 13 years, but in that period of 13 years, there were teams that were asking for my service. You remember there was a times whereby Mangaung will come and ask me to go and help them in playoffs and all the stuff. But the recommendation were done professionally, so to go and specialize in the department. So coming for a new chapter, it was not easy, to be honest with you, to leave CUT. I think I wouldn't say that it was their loss. I could say that for me it was for me to start something new and have people that were ambitious, have vision, goals driven. So I think the University of Free State saw the potential in me. They saw what I can do, and they've seen that what I've done in previous years for goalkeepers. So I took the opportunity with both hands. I couldn't let this one go. Sometimes they like to say in Sutu that so I think me being around C2 for a very period of time, it was kind of coming a comfort zone for me. So I needed something new, something challenging, and something that I believe that I want to win something.
Are you trying to say that you're not gonna win anything at CT though?
Though we have won FA Cup, ABC Motsepe, then they were competing, but most of the time, it was very tough for us for a couple of seasons. But when it comes to the goalkeeping department, it was one of the best, So you couldn't rate us on that. Why I'm saying that, I just want to try a new environment because of I'm waiting for the finalist of USA last year. So now we want something bigger than the finalist of being USA last year. I think Varsity Cup is coming, and I'm working hard for to see us winning the Varsity Cup coming on.
Listen. Just before we touch on the Varsity Cup, I just want to touch on this that you've spoken about, like being comfortable. As goalkeeper coaches, how important it is, particularly for you, how important it is to always make sure that you don't get comfortable in that space? Because I know for sure that you have new goals now of maybe one day work with one of the PSL teams, even maybe a national team for that matter. How important it is for you not to be comfortable?
To be honest with you, that position is very sensitive. I think all South Africa, we are lacking in terms of goalkeepers. And we are lacking with the youngest goalkeeper coaches that can come in. Because that position is insensitive in a way that most of coaches, the head coaches, that they tend to ignore that the goalkeepers are part of the game. And when it comes to modern goalkeeping now, they remember that goalkeepers now, they become players. They initiate attack, they start the move from the back. They are goal stoppers and all the stuff. So I think being comfortable in such a way that you don't do your job. You don't do your research. Remember, as goalkeepers, we stop all the goals from being scored. And you need to know the players. You need to know oppositions. You know the strong points of the opponents. You need to know the good quality penalty takers, So I think as a goalkeeper coach, you need to to invest a lot of your time in terms of research, knowing who are you playing against, who's the best kicker of the free kicks, the best kicker of football in terms of, like said, standard situations. So I think we need to understand that this position is one of the best positions in the world, because of, if you have a good goalkeepers, you can win anything in the world.
We know what Kaizer Chiefs has done over the years. I think they have goalkeepers that were most talked about, and and we know their goalkeeper coach, I just forgot his name at the time. Yeah, was a man, highly spoken of, from the likes of Brian Baloyi, Fernandez. You can mention them. There was a Telango Beni, Tumelo Nkune. It was just a lot that came out of all of those. But let's look into, now you are going into the Varsity Cup. Your job in the Varsity Cup, when you meet a goalkeeper that comes into the Varsity Cup for the first time, because you had that situation last season, how difficult it is.
Yeah. To be honest with you, we tend to, like, maybe goalkeepers, they tend to have stage fright. Remember, you're playing in front of maybe 20 to 25,000 students or fans. So it's for the first time, you've never been watched like that before in your life. So it becomes a challenging in terms of, like, decision making, in terms of expressing your talent, expressing yourself, expressing your talent, expressing your ability. So it becomes they become scared, or they have anxiety to express themselves a lot. So as a goalkeeper coach, what you need to do in that kind of situations, you just have to tell the player that, you need to go out there and enjoy yourself. Because remember, if you're not doing well, obviously my reputation as a coach is going down to the drain. Like last year, that day, it was very difficult for me. But it was something positive, because I had some of other coaches were like, even Vino was complimenting me on Facebook, saying that you worked with this boy at like, we had a conversation with him. I was telling him how big the boy was and all the stuff, how many kilos did he lost before they come into the varsity and all the stuff, what the challenges that we had. So it was not easy for me to take the boy from the streets, coming to play for the first time for Varsity Cup, playing in front of massive crowd. That is not easy, to be honest. The only thing that you need to do as a coach is to risk. Everything that we do in football is to risk.
Everything that we do in football is to risk. Let's take this moment and go into the break, and let's come back a little bit later and chat more on the risks he's willing to take to push his career to the top. Let's go into a break. When we come back, we continue with Moneeb Nkopane. Ayo.
You become what you believe.
Dig deep down and ask yourselves, who do you want to be?
Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to In the Game. This is the final segment of In the Game. We're still chatting to Moneeb Nkopane. This is Free State Online Network. And before we went to the break, he spoke about risking it all in football. Listen, you spoke about risking it all, right? And the situation you had, at CUT last year with the goalkeeper. I think I've never been part of Varsity Cup and see a goalkeeper being spoken about that much, but you did well with him. He did amazing, for all the things that were being said, How do you then shape a goalkeeper to make sure that with all that spoken about them, they get into the field and they stay positive at all times?
The only thing that I used to tell him is that, sometimes you just don't need to listen to what people say to you. That's not who you are. You need to know why you came here in the first place. You need to know the things that we're doing at training. You just need to go and implement them in the field of play, because they may say whatever that you're saying. You're going to make a good save. Everyone's going to be happy. You make him blunder, then they're still going to remember that blunder that we made. But what can you do is the negative things. When people start to talk any bad thing about you, you just need to take it and swallow it. If it's positive, take it and build yourself with it. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna make good saves. Everyone that's gonna be happy. But if you are making a mistake, then you're gonna be remembering with that bad mistake you need. That's how life of goalkeepers is about. They always remember the bad things that you did, but the good ones they don't remember. That's how football it is.
Look, let's talk about you now. I know you've worked with some of the PSL goalkeepers in their off season. They would come to you for you to work with them. Going forward, what's the biggest thing that you would want to achieve for your career? Because I can sit here and think maybe the highest place for you to go to is the PSL, only to find you see beyond the PSL.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I just want to see myself being a chairman, coach, development under 23. That's where I want to see myself. The reason why is because of I just want to nurture my talent. I just want to see the best out of me and come back to South Africa and make the change in terms of goalkeepers. Because in South Africa, we lack so many goalkeepers. We lack so many knowledge in terms of how do we nurture the goalkeepers to become better goalkeepers. I believe you can attest that the goalkeepers that I had at CUT, they're different from other goalkeepers in terms of distribution, in terms of agility and everything.
Samuel's distribution is top class.
Top. So I think if I can 2 years from now on and go outside and build myself and come back, then be the national team coach, that really is my goal. I don't wanna. That is my goal.
But I like the fact that what is it about the German football that makes you say, my goal is to then go to Germany, like specifically Germany? What is it about their football that makes you want to go there and nurture your skill and your talent there?
I believe that they focus more in terms of nurturing the best goalkeepers in the world. I was doing one of the research. It shows that how did Manuel Neuer become one of the best in the world? It shows that they invest more time and they invest more resources on goalkeepers, whereas in South Africa we don't do that. So whenever you go outside, there's people that will specialize only in goalkeeping. Their job, they sleep and they wake up only for goalkeepers specifically. So I want to be that kind of a person that will only specialize in goalkeeping. So seeing the goalkeepers, if you have a good goalkeeper, like I said before, you can win anything. If you have that solid back, then anything is possible for you as a goalkeeper coach to have one of the best goalkeepers in the country. The only thing that I want to do is to change the concept of that us not having good goalkeepers in South Africa. That's what the change that I want to make.
I like the fact that you are targeting that, because I think the imbalance for me is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, so
like you can remember during Itumeleng Nkune's time, there was the late Senzo Meyiwa. That's where we kind of saw the competition amongst goalkeepers, and now it's Ronwen Williams, just there by himself, just having the time of his life. But in terms of saying a goalkeeper that would give him a run for his money, you can't even create that banter between two goalkeepers, whereas back in the day we created that banter. We even went to the national team to say who should actually start between Senzo and Itu Kune in the national team. Lastly, who inspires you? Like, who motivates you? Who makes you wake up in the morning every day, regardless? There are days where I would wake up and I'd feel like I don't even want to do no show. I just want to, with the challenges that comes with everything that we do. But you every day go out there and go do your thing. Like, who inspires you? Who motivates you?
To be honest with you, praying keeps me going. Praying keeps me going, and people who always tell me how best I am, like likes of Jackson Mabokhwane, they always inspire me, because of on their off season they will just come and train with me, and they will always text me and tell me how best I am, and I don't deserve to be where I am. Then I'm like, everything's done by God, my time will come. I just have to focus where I am going forward. So I would say that praying is always keeping me going, and people that will see the best out of me are the ones that keep me going. Yes.
In terms of the people that inspired you to continue with what you're doing when you were younger, who are those people? Maybe it's a high time we learn to mention like people that played a key role, you know, in our careers. Just before we wrap it up.
To be honest with you, the first person is Brix Rantili. May he so rest in peace. And that input from Botshabelo FC, he also played a big role in my life. Most importantly, Tate Khorai, you know, he is the one who made who I am today. To be honest with you, I would call him Tate Khorai at 11 at night. Tate Khorai, I need this and that. They will definitely wake up and, you know what, boy, I can do this for you. Come tomorrow and see me. You know, so those are the people that I believe that they played a very good role in my life and going forward.
Moneeb, thank you so much for, you know, coming through and having this chat with me. I appreciate you, and I pray that God blesses you, that you go to everywhere you want to go with your career, because I believe you are one of the best. But thank you so much for making your time and coming through.
No, thank you for having me. I really do.
Listen, that was the conversation I had with Moneeb Nkopane, and as always, I can't wrap it up without saying this: to whom much is given, much is expected, and to whom much is expected, much is required. Every champion that is a champion today was once a contender who refused to give up. For Free State Online Network, I'm Mpixo, the greatest, God willing. I'll see you next time.